Hi guys, welcome to another video of Shut and Rajes. Today is a very much anticipated phone. We have the new Galaxy Z Fold 3. Mind you, Galaxy launched two phones. Samsung launched two phones actually. One was the Flip 3 and one is the Z Fold 3. We currently have the Z Fold 3 and Flip 3 will be coming in, the video will be coming in next 2-3 days. So this will be a little different video. Usually what we do is a unboxing and first impressions, but this is going to be a little detailed, still first impressions but a little detailed, and there's nothing to unbox. It's just a box and a wire and the phone obviously. Okay, so this video will be structured basically as an argument between two sides. First will be that I personally believe right now is true, is that the future is going to be mediocre, and second is that is the future going to be perfect. By future I'm talking about folding phones specifically here. So let's see the points. So first thing is design. One thing where I would give this phone a perfect mark is for the design. I mean, again, the perfect mark is for, design as per foldables. This is not a perfect phone yet. I'm still scared to open the screen and touch it and use it, because if you have anything sharper, or even your nails are a little too big, or you have sand or something in your hand, it is going to scratch the screen. Mind you, this is a screen protector, but this is not like your normal screen protector which you can pull out and replace with another one. This is provided by the company, and it will require you to go to the Samsung workshop and then you can get it changed. So design wise, this is the third iteration of Fold, actually fourth if we see the first where the top layer was coming off when you try to pull the the screen protector on the glass. But this is the fourth variation as per that, and it is pretty good. Samsung has done pretty good things with this. The design feels a lot more mature, a lot, something that is not in its prototype version anymore. This looks a lot like a professional product now, like you can use it and a mass market product. So that way I'm going to give it a perfect score there. The second thing we are going to talk about is the hinge, because it's a folding phone, so the major part is going to be the hinge. Like, it's just feels little sturdy in hand. It's not something which I think is a clumsy, or Fold 1 I remember was a little clumsier, because when you try to open it, it used to feel like it's going to either, not that much force on your hand, and that way. This one feels a lot better. Fold 2 was also good, but still this feels a lot better. One thing that I specifically noticed about this hinge is the last, when you open it at the end, there is no motion at the end, because in the Fold 2 when you used to do like this, there was little motion there. So nothing of that sort. Samsung has fixed the hinge really well this time, and this is a waterproof product also, water resistant, IP68X something, because this is not dust resistant, just water resistant. Hinge is the part where dust can enter and still make those sounds, which we saw a lot in the Fold 1 and 2. So that is a problem here little. As I told you, the phone feels a lot mature now, but when we are comparing it to other phones, it's still a clumsy product. So there I'll give it a mediocre rating, because it's generally, the idea that it's a soft top screen, it's not something of a glass or something like that, which even if I have a little nail here, it can scratch it very easily. This is though S Pen resistant, but S Pen again has a special kind which only works for Fold, so you cannot just pop out your Note 10 or Note 20's S Pen and you start using it here. It is going to scratch this device. So that way this is a mediocre phone when we are comparing it design wise to other products. Second thing which this phone shines at is the screen, because it's all about the screen. Why you are going to carry two phones if you don't want a good screen? So that way the front screen is also great. The front screen was good last time also, but it was not 120 Hz. This time it's 120 Hz completely. So it feels good. It's not unsettling, because earlier what used to happen, I remember, is when I was using the front screen for let's say 30-40 minutes, and then I used to go inside. So the front screen was 60 Hz, the inside screen was 120 Hz, which used to cause a little, it was not a pleasant experience for me. So that Samsung has also fixed. Both are 120 Hz screens. So screen time, anyway, you guys have already seen that I love Samsung displays. Even iPhones use Samsung displays. So when it comes to displays, there is no one beating Samsung around there. Display, I give a perfect rating. Now coming to the third point, that is the performance. That is again where this phone shines, because it has a Samsung 888 processor, which is good enough. There is nothing in the market right now, no app or nothing in the market right now that you are going to have to face problems with it. And in the long term also, the long future, this will have enough raw power to be used in games or anything like that in future also, because if you are going to be using this phone, this costly phone, so you will be planning to keeping it a little longer that way also. So performance wise, I'll give it a perfect rating. Now coming to the major point which I think makes the phone a lot mediocre is the camera. Because if you're buying a phone that costs 1,50,000 rupees, you are expecting it to have a better camera. Like, if you buy an iPhone, if you're spending, let's say 120 or 130 on an iPhone 12 Pro Max, it's going to have the best camera in the market. This I feel is a little dicey, because the back camera are good. I'm not saying it's a bad camera. In no way I'm saying that these are bad cameras, but these are not best cameras. What you are expecting from a flagship phone where Samsung is actually selling you the future. So I don't know why Samsung is giving us a mediocre camera. I mean, do they going to continue this, or this is just a temporary thing? I don't know. I don't understand Samsung's strategy here. But yeah, definitely this is a mediocre camera compared to the price segment that it comes in. And rest of the details about the camera is the front. This is a okay camera. Samsung cameras are something which I never found good because of the color popping thing. The colors are overly saturated. And the inside camera that I would like to talk about, this is actually in-display camera, first for Samsung. Other Chinese companies have done, but I don't think any major company has done this. So this is an inside screen camera. In my first impression, this is not the future that we want. Again, the mediocre part that I was talking about. This is again the settling part, the mediocre settling part for the phone, where I can see the camera here because it's the OLED screen that is on top of it. So OLED is actually, if you don't know how OLED works, the pixels turn off when they are not lit. So when you are using the camera, the pixels on top will turn off, and then we can use the camera. But when you are watching a movie or a film or anything on the video, the camera goes, the screen covers it with the pixel. But the issue right now is that they cannot provide it with a way too dense pixel, because then the picture quality, it won't be able to take that good picture, but it still can't. This takes a very shady pictures compared to what it can as being a front camera that way. But one issue that majorly I saw is the processing time, because when you take the picture, it has to run a dehaze algorithm which clears the dotted areas which the camera cannot see because of the pixels. So it has to clear that, and that is the point where I think it lags a lot. Again, one point which Samsung makes is that usually people will be using this screen to, this camera to take video calls or stuff like that. No one is going to take a selfie like this. Makes sense. You are usually going to use it either this way, or you can, use the back screen to take selfies in the settings which Samsung has, where you can turn the camera like this and you can use the back camera and this as your viewfinder. But that way also, I believe if you are giving a phone which is a flagship phone, it should have been a better camera. I think I was okay with the hole punch, because it anyway shows up in the videos. You have to, although, look at angles, straight seeing it perpendicularly, it doesn't show. One other area where this phone is a little, I would say, a lot mediocre is battery performance. I mean, Samsung added 120 Hz screen on the front, but still they trimmed down the battery, I think 100 milliamp hour or something. But the point is it's not that, again, it's not an issue. It's not that the phone doesn't charge fast or anything like that, but if you are giving us the future, let the future be at least with good battery. Because one thing I totally love about iPhones is the battery life. Although 11 series had better battery than 12, but that is understandable. Little difference, like half an hour screen usage max to max. So battery life, and this is my initial impressions, like my first 1 day, 2 day review with the phone. Imagine me using the phone extensively and with a display, like you are carrying basically a tablet in your pocket, a 7-inch device. And if you're not going to have enough juice by the end of the day, or let's say even by the middle of the day, which I'm expecting this to be, because if you're going to consume a lot of content on it, lot of games, etc. So this won't have that much battery left. That is again the part where this phone is a little mediocre. So concluding the video, if you are in the market and money is no object, this is a perfect device, and it is a head turner. If you can try to get in green color, because of the chip shortage, it's a little hard to get in green color. So it's definitely a head turner. Still it is a head turner because it's not a mass market product yet. But if money is something that you consider and you are a little confused between either, let's say, going with an iPhone 12 Pro Max or this phone, I would suggest go in the store, use the device and see your preferences, because right now what Samsung is doing is just a mediocre phone with a brilliant display. Like, they are selling you the future with a mediocre basic feature like battery life, durability of the phone, camera performance. So these are basic features which I think we have improved year on year, but we are still going back in the future in the folding phones at least. So you have to make a informed choice. This is not a value for money device in any way. But while using it, this will be a completely different experience, which I don't think you would have on any phone in the market right now. So give it a check in the store, and thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you guys are safe and you are getting vaccinated, because COVID cases are decreasing in our country right now, but we have to be alert and all of us have to get vaccinated to overcome this situation. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you guys in the next one.